Welcome back to another episode of Kingdom Connectors, Missionary from the Desk. We're so excited to have you back, and also very excited today to have Steve Nieves with us today on the show. Steve, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell us a little bit about what you do today?
My main business is I own a real estate brokerage. We do residential real estate. I also am an investor where we buy and sell homes. We fix them up and sell them on the market. We do new construction. So I consider myself an investor, and that's what we do.
No, it's exciting. Steve and I met in a small group, and just getting to know his heart has just really been incredible, and we're so excited to have you here today. I've heard you had humble beginnings in your business career. Could you maybe tell the audience a little bit about that, and maybe if there's a secret to your success, what that would look like for someone that's tuning in today?
I came from humble beginnings. I'm the oldest of 5 siblings and raised in New York, Upper Manhattan. And my dad made sandwiches for the living. And so, it was very humble growing up. But as I was growing up, I was hungry, and I wanted to be successful and do so. I didn't take no for an answer. At the very early age of 14, I always worked full time. I helped my parents. At the age of 16, I managed a bagel shop. At the age of 18, I got a so-called dream job in Manhattan, which is a union job, and as a doorman. And that was a sought-after job in the people in my circle because it paid well, and you didn't need a college education, and it was secure. People don't leave that job. But after a year and a half, I had to move on because I felt stuck. I had that lid, and I needed more. So I went off and I started my own limo company, and 3 years later, I went into real estate, and here I am 20 years later.
Wow.
Still in real estate.
Wow, that's an amazing story. You've done more than most people by the time you were 18 years old. I think that's something that's so interesting out of what he just said was, I was talking to some guys this week on what does it look like to be successful at whatever you're doing. And, sometimes I think folks think the lid is what caps you. I think the lid's what motivates you to bust through the lid and to go be successful. And also something you mentioned too was just never taking no for an answer, being persistent. I was looking at some successful salespeople today in the company that I help manage, and I said they all have different, unique things that make them successful. But the one thing I think that makes them so successful is they're just always mashing, always trying to get to the next level, always trying to figure out the new angle. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway that they have. And maybe the second one would be that they can really get in to someone and know their exact need and know how to satisfy that need. So obviously we want to impact the kingdom, but we want to help people be more successful in their businesses so that they can impact the kingdom with the resources they have. And that's exactly what Steve's doing. You've been successful. You've been known to make a difference in the kingdom. Tell us about what kingdom work you're involved in today. I've heard a lot of things that you've mentioned, but if you don't mind, tell our audience about those.
Yeah, sure. We believe in giving first and everything, and we practice that in every aspect of our life. It starts with our time and finances and just everything we do. I'm a financial partner with Convoy of Hope, which is an organization that feeds over 240,000 kids a day in third world countries, and we've had a great relationship with them, and just being able and be in that circle and giving at a great level, it was able to raise my circles, and I have very, very good friends that actually gave me more opportunities. So it pretty much 10x the amount of income that we got going in because God trusts us on how to funnel His money, His funds.
Yes, He does.
Coming in. So my wife and I are very active at the church. And we believe in giving everything. Our real estate brokerage, we actually, we tied with our personal finances. Our company is run by giving first, so the first 10% goes to helping others. Right. This last Thanksgiving, we were able to provide Thanksgiving for a few families, and this last Christmas, we adopted a few families and provided a Christmas, and it's what it's all about.
No, absolutely. Mm-hmm. On this next question, how did you shift from becoming successful in business to being a difference maker, or was there a shift, or was there a moment that you just clicked and said, God, you've made me successful. Now what can I do to make a difference? Or did that kind of come from the beginning? For people, it's different. What was your...
Yeah, I think for the majority of my journey was all about, how much can I get and how much can I
Yeah.
build and how much can I do for me. And then it came to a moment 4 years ago. I said, how much more can I get, right? Bank account could get so high. We're driving the cars we want to drive. We own the home that we want to own. What legacy are we going to leave behind? And we started focusing on others, and it's the best thing I ever did, is shift that focus to how can we do for others. Zig Ziglar says, had a quote, and I've heard it all my life, but he says, if you want to get everything you want in life, help others get everything you want in life, and just to be able to see the people that I'm mentoring just go to the next level and get to the next level and creating more opportunities for them to get more and more and more. It's been a blessing.
No, I think that's a common theme that we hear when we talk to successful people. I think there was a shift where you became that driver and you did everything that you possibly could to be successful, kind of with a center of me. And then at some point, that shift happens, that God meant it, that God experienced whatever that looks like for you. Whenever you have that shift where you realize, what, if you put Him first and you love everybody, you're helping them get where they need to be. And guess what? You get to go with them. And I think that's so exciting when you hear people do that. There's a humility shift, and the whole idea of what we do as business people shifts. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have a second part, so please tune back in and be successful, make a difference. We love you guys. Talk soon.